Hey guys, today I bring you an update to my strength stacker build, dude. We reached over 1k strength. This is insane. And if you didn't know, we are using Molten Blast as our main ability and we are stacking strength because from strength we get projectile damage, attack damage, we get energy shield, we get accuracy rating and attack speed. I explain how everything works in my original video guide for this build that it is the Strength Stacker Lich. This video is on my channel. I explain everything. Look, half an hour explaining everything. This is still obviously solid information. I am just updating it because I kept progressing. So you could say that these are two budget levels. If you don't have much budget, the video that is uploaded is cool, right? But if you wanna keep progressing and keep investing in the build, then I bring you an update when you can get over 1k strength. But if you didn't watch the other video and you wanna know how this works, I am going to give you the tool on didn't read. We are using the Iron Grasp that gives me Iron Grip, 1% increased projectile attack damage per 2 strength, and the Iron Will, 1% increase spell damage per 2 strength. But then I am using the Crown of Ice that gives me increases and reductions to spell damage also applied to attacks. These two items make the basis for the build. Now, if I get a lot of strength, I will get a lot of projectile damage and spell damage, but the spell damage is converted to attack damage. So I could use theoretically any projectile based attack skill. But I wanted to play maces, and that is why we are using Molten Blast, because Molten Blast is the skill that allows you to do this. Then we are using this Yule called Heroic Tragedy by the line of Borana that gives me the ability to put this keystone that gives me 1% increased energy per 2 strength. So we are getting as many benefits as we can from strength. That's why stacking strength is awesome. Then we are getting this node over here, Nimble Strength, that gives me gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. And after that, we get Resolute Technique. Accuracy rating is double. These two things makes it so that my strength gives me a lot of accuracy. And you say, why do you want accuracy rating? Because then in the amulet, we anoint the amulet with Falcon Dive, and Falcon Dive is all the way over here. That gives me 1% increased attack speed per 250 accuracy rating. So that makes it so that our strength gives us accuracy, which gives us attack speed, making strength giving us attack speed. So those are all the benefits that we get from strength, and that is the basis of the build. And you can see that we are doing this, we get a lot of damage. So that is the basis for the build. After that, we stack as much strength as possible. That is what I said in the other video, or I explained it more in depth. Now I am going to say what I updated after that video, right? So this is the build as it is shown in the video, and we can see that I go up here and I take a bunch of nodes to gain damage as extra fire, but also because I wanted damage penetrates fire resistance. I also have damage penetrates fire resistance over here. I really wanted the fire penetration for damage, but I got something beautiful. I got the Rakiata's Flow. And the Rakiata's Flow, you know, that inverts the value of the resistance for the enemies. And it is basically full penetration all the time. So I no longer need the fire penetration, which allows me to take that off the tree entirely. I took all those nodes off the tree. I don't need them anymore. And that gives me extra points. What do we do with those extra points? We go down here and we take Polymathy for 7% increased attributes, and we break the whole shit with a bunch of strength. Of course, we also need sources of flat strength. So I updated everything I had in items and in Yules to get as much strength as possible. So all my Yules have 2% increased strength, and whenever I could, I bought a corrupted version with strength. So you can see that this Yule gives me 2% increased strength, and it is corrupted with 4 strength. And I put it in the Lich node that doubles it. So this is giving me 4 increased strength and 8 strength, 4 percentage and 8 flat. So over here we got another one, 2% increased strength. Over here we have another one, 2% increased strength. Over here we have the Against the Darkness. I had this in the other video. And over here we have 2% increase strength, and it is corrupted with +6 strength, you know. Like this over here could be corrupted too. I have not done that, but it could be done, right? So we are getting as much strength as possible. Now, with the gear, look what I did. I found an iron grasp with 4 sockets, and we slot strength in all of those bad boys. I bought a belt that is corrupted with extra strength. I bought a shield with extra sockets, and I put the strength in there. I have one with cold resistance because I needed to round out my resistances. Like the next purchase could be a crown of ice with corrupted with 3 sockets, and then you put more strength in there, right? Then in the gloves we went with the 100% increase effect of socketed items in gloves with 2 sockets. That made it so that we could put in there 40 strength. And you will say those gloves don't have strength inherently. Yes, that is a mistake, but it is hard to find everything, right? But they should have extra strength in there. But it is not that bad, because having that dexterity and intelligence allows me to have a little bit to round up necessities for attributes, requirements for gems and other things, so that I don't have to put little bits of dexterity or intelligence in the tree, and I can go all in on strength in the tree. But you can juggle that around however you can, right? Like getting the exact minimum requirements for gems and gear, and then go balls to the wall with strength. But yes, this is something else that I did that I didn't have in the other video, which is going with the 2 sockets and the increased effect of socketed items so that I can get more strength. And the same for the boots. Some people will say, no, but I want the movement speed. We don't give a fuck about that, because we are not moving by moving. We are moving as this way. This is how we move, right? So movement speed is useless to this. We keep doing this, right? So I don't even have, you could have movement speed obviously on your boots, but I don't even have movement speed on my boots. Look at these boots. I have 100% increased effect of socketed items. I have 31 strength, and then with the 2 sockets I get 40 more strength. So I have a lot of strength all over my dog shit. So, and there are ways to get more. These are the updates, right? I got as much strength as possible on everything. There is another thing we are doing over here, that we are using gain 8 rage when you use a flask. We are using this flask that makes us not lose. I was already using this flask in the other video, but I was not using this Blood of Rage. Now I am using it, and it is incredibly better. We are full rage all the time, which is very, very cool. So this is the way that I was able to reach over 1k strength. And let me tell you, we got a lot of damage. We hit hard as fuck. It is really good. There is one problem though, I am not going to lie to you. As you can see here over the screen, we use a lot of mana. Look, so you have to be using your mana flask all the time. But if you get a mana flask that recharges per second, you won't have a problem. You will have it all the time. You won't spend your mana flask. And since you have to be pressing your life flask to maintain the upkeep on rage, what you will do is that you are basically pressing every few seconds your 2 flask, right? So it is an active gameplay where you have to be pressing your flask. Now, you could not go for the 1k strength and go for 950 strength, which is still pretty good, and maintain better mana uptime and not worry about mana. How do you do that? And also be a little faster, but with less damage. What we can do is, I am going to show it to you. Perfect, you come in here and you unspec from all of this, right? You take out all of these nodes to get to polymathy. This will take you under 1k, but this will get you another advantage. But now it gives you the ability to put these points over here that will give you mana. And now you will be able to expand much more your skill. Look how the mana sustains much more. You are still using mana, but you have much more sustain. Also, this allows you to put this from nothing in here. And with this from nothing, which is the Dance with the Death, look at what you can come up in here. You can put increase skill speed, and increase movement and skill speed, which makes you attack faster. So you go a lot faster, right? So you have less DPS overall, but you move faster and you have more sustain with your mana. So you have to choose. What do you prefer? Hit harder and have over 1k strength, or go faster and have better mana sustain? You can choose. I'll be honest, both feel fine. Since I don't mind pressing my mana flask, the 1k strength is good enough. Both of them are cool. You have to decide what you like more. But if you want to say big dig, I want 1k strength, you go down for polymathy and you take out the mana over here. Another update is that I put the rewards ferocity for more attack speed to move faster. And we are also using the heightened accuracy to get a lot of accuracy rating because it gives us attack speed. You will say, but I want damage. As you can see, like, I don't have that much support gems in my shit. I have Rakiata's flow that is damage, but it doesn't give you damage. It is the resistance stuff. I have the rewards ferocity, which is attack speed. I have the Nova projectiles that give me more projectile, but it even takes away damage. Then I have heightened accuracy that just gives me accuracy, but that gives me attack speed, which is damage. And the only thing that I have that actually gives me damage is execute, because it gives me damage when I am low life. But this setup, trust me, it feels good. It gives a lot of damage. You can juggle around with this, but the things that with this setup that you are not going for penetration, that you need is Rakiata's flow, you need Nova projectiles, and you need execute, because that is why you are going Lich with low life. But you can juggle around the other two to see how you like them. But to me, this setup is, if not the best one, close to the best one. The other thing that I added is that I have a Berserk over here that I can enable or disable. Since I am using a lot of rage, having Berserk is really good. But then I lose convalescence. If you feel that you are having a good time in the map, you can disable convalescence and add Berserk, and the other way around, right? And you can do this on the fly, by the way. If you are really fast with your fingers, you can deactivate and deactivate the other one really fast and use the ability and go back. It is entirely possible. I don't have much spirit, so I can't have them both active at the same time. With Berserk, your clearing in the map is awesome. But you have to be careful to not take a lot of damage, because convalescence is like one of your lines of defense, right? I know some people want to go with two 200 for bosses, but trust me, you need the shield. You need the shield. It gives you resistances. It gives you a lot of strength, and strength is damage. You don't think normally that the shield is giving you damage. The shield is giving you a fuck ton of damage. So don't neglect the shield. And yes, brother, those were the updates. I put the Berserk in there. Careful with the convalescence and the Berserk. This just buffs the Berserk. We got the Rakiata's flow to be able to go big and get polymathy for going over 1k strength, and strength is everything. You clear everything. There is nothing in the game that you can clear, and it is awesome, dude. And there is more investment that could be made in here, by the way. I can get a better hammer. I can get a better crown of ice, better boots, better gloves, better ring, better amulet. Like, there is a lot more room for growth in here. I think that a new very insane blaster easily takes this to 1200 strength, probably easily with more like investment. But I don't know who is crazy enough to go that heavy on investment on this build. Maybe me. If I had more time to play, probably I would do it. I will, of course, leave the link in the description to this updated thing, and I will leave again the first one so that you can see the progression and compare the two of them. I will leave the two links, the first version and this updated version, so that you can do it. So if you want a strength stacking Lich, pretty original with cool interactions, and you want to get 1k strength in a character that gets as much benefit as possible from strength, you can go with this bad boy. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless ya. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.